Microphone check 1 2 1 2. Frank is back, y'all. He is back in all black. You know, we had those reflective stripes on the other wheels, but now Frank is just rocking that all black, like a MIB. Frank is MIB. Oh, okay. Sorry about that. just this thing in the zoom that it's got. Yep. Old Frank is back. Mic check, 1 2 1 2. All right, y'all. I believe we are back in business now. Gonna do a test just to see. Got some road tires on Frank, and yeah. So Frank should be back to his old self. And just so you can see, look how dirty midnight is. Good God. But you can tell what gets driven and what doesn't. Because Frank ain't dirty. Frank is fresh and clean. Anyway, let's see what's going on with this tire, fellas. Let's hope, well, I don't see why Frank won't be back to his old self. But let's see how this new tire does. Get everything lined up, yeah. Gonna strap that in. Oh my goodness gracious. Now you mean to tell me this woman should still have her driver's license when you got all that space right there? Oh my goodness, she gonna back up again. Whew. Get the hell out the way. Frank feels normal. Sounds like I'm gonna have to realign my brakes back there. The only thing, taking that back wheel off, gotta adjust my brakes. Now they seem like they took care of themselves. Sweet. All right, look like we back in action. 40 miles an hour uphill. And yes, we're going uphill. .41, 42 uphill, not too bad. Speedy didn't get too far, did he? We just making a loop, checking out this tire. To that guy that commented on my video that it must suck going that fast with no suspension. Well, no, it doesn't. In fact, it must suck not being able to go this fast with no suspension. How about that? How about them apples? He really said that. He said it must suck going that fast with no suspension. Really? I guess if it sucked, you wouldn't have to go that fast. Because you could just slow down. What sucks is not being able to go that fast and getting ran over. That's what sucks. Can you jump out in traffic and do this? I guess that sucks. Anyway, I'd say that's a successful road test. Anyway, so today's topic of discussion is, and I'm just kind of curious about this. And look, believe you me, guys, after I ask this question, trust and believe me. Let me make sure my mic is still recording. Okay. Trust and believe me, you're not going to hurt my feelings one little bit with your answer. Because whatever lowball price you say, it probably cost me less than that. However, that's not the question I'm asking, is what it cost me. The question I'm asking is, what is an e-bike like Frank worth? A 40 plus mile per hour fat tire e-bike. Man, I always get brain freeze when I'm trying to think of a specific word. But basically this style of bike, and no, I know it's not enduro. I forget what they call bikes like Frank and bikes like Super 73s. Shoot, man. Like I say, don't get old, fellas. When you get old, you get brain freeze. But yeah. With a 72 volt, 50 amp hour, 40 plus mile per hour bike like Frank be worth? Put that down in the comment section for me, please. Because honestly, I don't know. And that's just, I'm just asking that question. Perhaps if I were to sell Frank as is, and I know Frank's going to get lowballed because people are going to say, well, he's a Zugo. Only Super 73s are worthy of those crazy figures. And maybe that's true, because they cost crazy figures. But at the same time, if you had the choice between Frank and a regular Super 73, you mean you would take the Super 73 over Frank? Maybe you would. I know I wouldn't. But Frank is my baby. But to someone who you know doesn't feel the way I feel about Frank. I'm just curious. And I'm not only asking for that reason, I'm asking for, you know, my my own reasons because I plan to do this as a business. And like I said, I definitely think Super 73 is outrageous in price. I just saw invoice for where a guy paid. Now he lived in Canada, I believe, but I don't think it makes a difference. His invoice for his RX, is that what they are? RX, R series, Super 73 was over $5,000. Yeah, over $5,000 for a standard R series. What did it go? 28, 29 miles an hour. I don't know what size motor they come with. I know the S2s or some of them come with the 1,000-watt motor. I'm not sure the specs on Super 73s. I don't, I'm not a Super 73 owner, so I never really researched that. I'm getting ready to know about all of them because I'm going to be working on some, but as far as prices and all that, I never checked none of that out. But yeah, so that being said, if the new Super 73s are $5,000 just alone stock, what should a Super 73 cost with a 72 volt system, 50 amp hour, capable of 40 mile per hour plus? Now, you may have to not quote a price for one with a 50 amp hour because that's an extremely large battery. And we know that Lightspeed charges $2,500 just for a 50 amp hour battery, at least a Lightspeed one anyway. Now, there are cheaper batteries, a whole lot cheaper. I know you can get, I don't know about a 50 amp hour. I know you can get a 20 amp hour, 25 amp hour regular battery for about $1,000. Some of them cheaper than that. But yeah, just curious about prices because like I said, I want to be cheaper, a whole lot cheaper than Super 73's prices or anybody else's prices on bikes and for modifications. But at the same time, I don't want to pimp myself either, because I know there's guys that's paying big money. Now, like I said, I don't want to be one of those guys charging big money. But if people are going to pay big money, I mean, I'm not going to be cutting myself in half. Who knows? I don't know. If I think it's sufficient, or I feel like it's fair, then that's all that matters to me. And I definitely want it to be fair to the customers. So I'm sure most of you guys that's into modifying bikes and 72 volt upgrades have seen some of the other channels 72 volt upgrades. I know Central Driver has a 72 volt upgrade for a Super 73, and he installed it himself. Great job, by the way. But I think the kit that he got is like $2,500 just for the kit. Now that kit, I could say, is nice kit only because it comes with a little box to put the battery in. But other than that, it's the same kit that I see NB Power selling and QS selling. It's the same exact kit without the battery. They sell those kits without the battery. Now, the one he got is with the battery. So you also have to keep that in mind, that the battery does come with it too. But still, I feel like $2,500 is an awful lot of money. I've already said before, that's a whole nother bike. A whole nother bike. But it won't be a whole nother Super 73 bike because they cost $5,000. But you could definitely buy one of these for $2,500 and have some change left over. In fact, I could buy one of these for $2,500 and 72 volted. Brand new, pretty much. Or pretty close to that price. Around that anyway. Now, like I said, you ain't gonna hurt my feelings about what you say about Frank. Because I told you, the way I shop, I hunt for deals. I get everything at the lowest cost possible because I'll buy something broke. I'll buy something that's missing something. So, you know, that's just how I do it. But everybody can't do it that way. And that's the only reason that I'm able to have, I got a couple old school Mercedes, but it ain't because I got big money or anything. For one thing, they're older models, which I think are the best models, by the way, because they still have V8 engines. The new ones come with little 4-cylinders and 6-cylinder turbos. But anyway, that's a whole nother conversation. But I was saying that because all of those cars I got because they were misdiagnosed. The owners were told some outrageous price from Mercedes-Benz because Mercedes-Benz doesn't just repair stuff, you know, doesn't just replace the bad part. If it's part of a system, they replace the whole entire system. You know, like one of them, thank you, buddy. One of them had a dropped airmatic where the suspension had fell and it dropped to the ground. But basically, it was just one bad airbag in one of the rear struts. And I replaced that one rear airbag, cost me $150. But Mercedes-Benz quoted the owner $6,500 because they don't do it like that, man. They're gonna replace the whole entire system, the compressor, all 4 airbags, airlines, everything, because they don't want no, I don't know. I guess they just want to make sure they don't have no comebacks and all that. But I mean, a lot of times that's unnecessary, man. Why replace a whole entire system if it doesn't need to be replaced? But anyway, that's how I got those cars for pennies on the dollar. And I mean pennies on the dollar. They're worth more. They're worth a couple quarters now because I've repaired them. But when I got them, they were literally pennies on the dollar. Anyway, same thing I did with Frank here. Where are all those cars going? What is going on back there? Let me go be nosy. But yes, indeed. But I would like to know what Frank would be worth if I just sold Frank straight out, just like he was. And like I said, I'm sure he's not going to get the same notoriety as a Super 73. But that's just how it is. Because I saw where they were saying Super 73s are not going to decrease in value. They're going to increase in value. Now, I don't get that, but that's what they were saying. You know, so especially, oh, I left out one part. Especially if you upgrade them. If you upgrade them, that will definitely increase their value. Unlike automobiles, you know, you can mod automobiles, put rims on them, tint windows, do this, do that, and that takes away from the value. Dealerships take off money for aftermarket rims. It don't matter if you paid $10,000 for them rims. That comes off the value of the car. So as far as e-bikes go, supposedly it's the reverse. So modded e-bikes increase in their value. And I feel like Frank should be exactly the same way. But, you know, I know they're going to be a little prejudiced against Frank because that's just how it is. Yep. That is the way it is, fellas. Soccer game. I told y'all the other day, Frank would just coast out this parking lot with a regular tire, and absolutely. You see how good Frank is coasting now? I mean, he's just coasting. I ain't gave him no more throttle. But when I had that big knobby tire on here, I had to give Frank throttle to get out the parking lot, and it was all downhill. I'm pretty sure I could stop accelerating like right here and coast right on over the top of this hill. Well, I would have been able to if I didn't have to put on my brakes. But yeah, Frank's cruise ability is back. And that's a new word I made up. But it's a big word like hippopotamus and elephant. Get it, Frank. You get it, Frank. Frank hit 40 miles an hour before the next exit. Woo! Easy there, Frank. Had no idea why that car was stopped. But they looked at me like I was crazy because I was getting ready to go around them. Yeah, Frank want to come back up off the ground again. Yeah, okay. Alright, we good. I ain't playing with it no more though. I told you I had a little incident the other night, so we're gonna keep both wheels on the ground. And that's gonna do it, fellas. I don't know what that mess is, but I'm gonna grab that. Deuces. 30 minutes.